More welcome to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professionalism for today's terms only. The investment we're going to talk today will be Ethereum. First, I want to say happy Monday, everybody. Hope you're a great weekend, by the way. Respect to recording time of 9:51 a.m. on the Eastern Time. Ethereum country $4,364, up about 1.72% so far. Respect to overall crypto market, it's relatively green, right? With respect to the lack of activity that we have experienced during this weekend, which subsequently drives some sell-off because of the lack of media affectation momentum. Obviously, because it's Halloween and journalists also have to take a break as well. And also with respect to the whales and public investors were just kind of sitting on a sideways fashion, waiting for the next momentum catalyst to be driving some stir into the market, right? So with respect to the current level right now, we are testing the 63 out of 70. We are still stretching up on the technical front, while Bitcoin is sustaining above the 61,000 mark, currently hovering around like the $62,000 mark, up about 0.99% so far. And with respect to Dogecoin, is currently down about 3.06%. While at the same time, the altcoin are relatively green, right? With Shiba Inu seems like it's surging again, up 9.33%. And on the equity side, seems like with respect to the sector rotation, for the Q4 window dressing, or the aka the Santa Claus rally, is still occurring, and is very prominently displayed among the high cap, high tech, and high growth stocks, obviously. So, with respect to the news front, let's take a look at the news, shall we? With respect to Decrypt 3 hours ago, talk about Robinhood and Burger King. Burger King is a burger joint, a burger restaurant, kind of like a McDonald's, like a Wendy's or Jollibee's, if you are from the other side of the world, which I absolutely love, or KFC, one of those like retail fast food restaurants. They are giving away Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Okay, so with respect to Burger King for the U.S. people here, it seems like with respect to their economics, right? So if you spend $5 at Burger King, right, it guarantees a Dogecoin until November 21st. And there's also some rewards that's being cultivated by Burger King, that there's also 20 Bitcoins and 200 Ethereum up for grabs if you are playing the game right. So it seems like Burger King is, slowly getting, because of the obviously the macro adoption or commercializations for cryptocurrencies, they are capturing that as a market scheme, which makes sense. But also, this is kind of a foreshadow that they are accepting crypto assets, knowing the fact that they are, offering this as a gift. But are they really putting this in the corporate balance sheets? Are they investing into, or are they transacting with cryptocurrencies going forward? They have specifically laid out that they are offering Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So it seems like these are the three value proposition that they have, approval of, and also a step of approval of. So that's something we appreciate, for those that are investing into these assets. So quite interesting, is a unique way of spinning, a marketing gimmicks, and also get some stir into the media for their PR as well. So this all, I think, is a relatively smart marketing tactics, if you may. The next one is talking about with respect to Bazinga 12 hours ago, talk about Dogecoin strikes gains, even as Bitcoin, Ethereum takes a break. Is alt season again happening? So this is something talking about Dogecoin is currently down right now, so I think this might be a lag effect onto this news. And ultimately, what they're really talking about is the surge that we've had from Shiba Inu, and then subsequently Dogecoin has the correlation effect that drag up, but has a delay effect. And now, you basically see the whole market being prominently being surging right now. Ethereum is trying to test all-time high all over again, right? But ultimately, we're in the business of risk mitigation, so we have to dive into technicals to see what's going on here in front of us, right? And then that's pretty much it on the news front. Let's just dive right into it, shall we? So with respect to the current level right now, we are curving down slowly, right? We are still at the overbought, which makes sense, right? But if Ethereum If we're gonna see more whale manipulations or more buying pressure or just more media affectation that's positive, we should technically keep leaping up, right? It's just logical that way, because of despite relatively overbought right now, but historically, we could technically run up to like the 92 out of 70 in like a mega bull cycle or in like a mega bull run, right? So technically, we could keep leaping up, but how likely is that? That's something that at the chart right now, because of the fact that we're overbought, risk is all-time high right now. So the better dip that we could have bought, as we were talking about for weeks and a couple of months now, was the 2,750 when we were way back there, right? So right now we just because my job is to keep you guys up to date on a daily basis, to inform you guys with respect to the risk profile that we're at right now, right? So right now it's not the most ideal, but if you want to buy in now, just hold it for a long term, right? Because ultimately, and I've gotten this question before, do we see us like coming back down? I would say yes, absolutely, because the RSI never just goes up in one straight shot, right? Because like that will be impossibility. We need to all slowly come back down and then recuperate, allow the monetary circulations to come back to recuperate, right? And then that will allow us to continue the surging pressure from here, right? So this is something that is it's out of our elements right now. It's something that we as public investors have limited market power, and that's ultimately going to be dependent on the whales and the media triangulations going forward. So something to be mindful of. Ultimately, we again right in the business of risk mitigation. So with respect to the Bitcoin right now, we're curving down. We're at the 60 out of 70, so it's not as overbought as compared to like Ethereum per se, but obviously Bitcoin is the mother lord of dragging the whole market to go up. So technically, right now, as we're forming that scoop, right, we could technically keep leaping up and try to retest all-time high. But right now, the level that we're at right now is mainly sustained by the whales lack of movement, but also with public investors holding on to their ledge, holding long term, right? And that's a good sign for the further sustainability. But we know that we have a relatively large gap to be filled. So in the perfect world, we will just continue to drag on a sideways fashion until we deplete the RSI, which again was showing like 55 of 70. And as we continue to drag it out, the likelihood of actually going back to 40 or 30 would not be likely anymore, because of the fact that we deplete it, that basically forms a new bottom. However, we can take a look at it real quick, that there is a huge gap that needs to be filled, right? So technically, 52 to 48 to 43, these are the logical frame of reference for us to look at to risk mitigate going forward. So with respect to Dogecoin right now, we are forming a curvature downward, and this is the bearish signal. Let's see what's the RSI right now. It's not showing for some reason. Let's see. Okay, 54. So with the 55 out of 70 right now, so ideally buy at somewhere around like the 25 to the 20 cents would be much more logical. Cardano right now, we are just hovering around the sideways fashion, trying to stay, around the $2 mark, right? But we know that this is a relatively struggling level. We are at the 40 out of 70. So Cardano was a good buy during this weekend, right? Because of the dip. And I think right now we are, at the bottom apex already, pretty much. And I think the 182 was the dip, which some of you guys actually got in. 187 was the identified level. So we were relatively depleted. That's why the candle's relatively small. So Cardano is a much better setup in comparison to the other ones right now. Solana seems like we are above $200, so you could see how much of an outlier we've formed as we hit that 218, 219. Right now it's curving down at the 62 out of 70, so ideally buy at somewhere as we cool back down, right? Because like we're still running really hot. Would be the 157, the 137. I would say the 137 is a much better level. 113, 96, and 66 respectively. XRP right now is you could see that we're forming a curvature upward, so we are forming a golden cross slowly, which is interesting that XRP is trading on a different momentum. So I think XRP, and on top of the fact we have the 52 out of 70, so it's not overbought or oversold, we're just neutral. So I think ideally running up back to the 117 or 120, which is the level we tried to get to before, would be very logical. Polkadot up about 15.14% right now, and makes sense because of the curvature right now, and we're forming a golden cross slowly. But let's see how overbought we are at the moment. And apologies, I don't know what is happening with this thing. So we're at the 66 out of 70. So ideally, I think the dip was basically around at when we were hitting to the 32, when we were hitting the 25, right? So right now it's probably a good level to maybe wait until we leap up above the golden cross and then hit above close to 70 and then probably take some of the profit from there. That's not a bad idea. Algorand right now we're forming curvature down with the 52 out of 70, so ideally buy at somewhere around the 160 to 155, and I think that will be imminent because of the fact that we are forming a death cross slowly. Shiba Inu right now at the 72 out of 70, so we know what that means. And right now we are forming a curvature down. Little peak up because of the drag effect from obviously the other coins and obviously with the Burger King news. So I think with respect to the current level, I don't think it's sustainable. It's publicly just mainly driven by public investors. So I think it's selling back down to 2789 to the 846 level, or somewhere around like the 900 would be much more logical. So with respect to risk management levels to dollar cost average at, we have identified the respective levels, right? And these are the levels that I use as a reference, right? I know some of them might seem far away, but it's because of the fact that as we deplete the RSI, we ideally would want to get into a level at a more of an optimal and a risk-averse perspective, right? So there's no point of chasing. It's no point of feeling of missing out, because ultimately the cycle is the cycle. It goes through in circulation, right? So nothing to be worried about. Just hold on and wait until the opportune time to come. It will come. Trust me. It's always the case. I know it sounds like we're never gonna see the prices again. I don't think so. That makes no logical sense, because the monetary circulation comes from somewhere and needs to go somewhere as well. So hopefully this is helpful. Really appreciate you for dropping by again on this Monday morning, and stay tuned for the comment. Take care. Bye.